everyone, I'm Dr. Olivia from Pet Circle, and today we are talking about how much and how often to feed your kitten. In this video, I'm going to explain and guide you through working out how much and how many times a day to feed your kitten according to their size, age, and breed. Kittens grow quickly and they need a balanced kitten-specific diet that is rich in high-quality protein, fat, and essential nutrients to support their development. Always choose a food labelled specifically for kittens to meet their unique nutritional needs. Adult cat food does not meet the nutritional needs of kittens, and feeding adult cat food should be avoided to prevent nutritional deficiencies and health problems. Kitten food is higher in energy, protein, and fat to support their growth. The other important thing to note about kittens is that they imprint on their food. This means that whatever a kitten eats when they are young becomes registered in their brain as what they should eat. So because of this, it's not a bad idea to get your kitten used to a few different types of foods, including different textures, shapes, and aromas while they are young to reduce fussiness later on. This can include a range of balanced wet and dry food options. Some high quality kitten food brands that I recommend include the Royal Canin, Hills, ProPlan, Advanced, and Ziwi Peak kitten foods. So now that we have the right food for our kitten, we need to get the rest of the equipment. So you'll need some shallow non-slip bowls for the food. Stainless steel bowls tend to work best. They're the most hygienic. However, ceramic bowls are a great option as well. You may also consider using a slow feeder, a snaffle mat, or an interactive feeding toy like the Kong Wobbler to make feeding time more engaging and to simulate your kitten's natural hunting instincts, which is a fantastic form of enrichment. Ideally, you will have a measuring cup that corresponds to the specific food that you are feeding, but otherwise you can use something like the M-Pet's Poppy measuring scoop, or you can just use any cup and some kitchen scales to weigh out the food in grams. To know how much to feed your kitten, you will need to have a rough idea of your kitten's age and ideally also their body weight. You can use some scales that you have at home or pediatric scales to monitor your kitten's weight weekly. When you know this information, then you want to check the feeding guidelines on the food package as a starting point. Caloric density is different between different food brands, so it's important to always follow the feeding guidelines of the specific food that you're feeding, and then divide the total amount between multiple meals to prevent overfeeding. Okay, so let's look at how much to feed our hypothetical kitten. Let's say we have a 6-month-old kitten that weighs 2.5 kilos. I'm gonna get my Royal Canin kibble here and check the feeding guidelines on the back of the bag. I'm gonna look for age first. So my kitten is 6 months of age, got our 5 to 6 month age, and then weight 2.5 kilos. So we've got our 2.3 to 2.9 kilo range here. The amount to feed the entire day is going to be 70 to 67 grams, and then we're going to divide that into 2 feeds over the day. What I'll do is open our food here, turn on my scales with my scoop attached of 65 grams. That's 65 grams there, perfect. But I want to do this in 2 separate meals. What I'm gonna do is aim for 33 grams in each scoop, and then we're perfectly on 33 grams there. And then we just pour that in our bowl, and then we would feed our 6-month-old kitten 2 of these a day if we were just feeding our Royal Canin kibble. Kittens are undergoing a period of rapid growth and development, and their little tummies can't hold the same volume of food as adult cats. So this means that they need smaller meals more frequently. As a general rule, I recommend the following feeding frequencies. From 8 weeks to 6 months of age, feed 3 to 4 meals a day. From 6 to 12 months of age, feed 2 meals a day. And from 12 months of age, feed 1 to 2 meals a day. You may also find that unlike dogs who tend to eat all their food in one go, cats are often grazers. They like to come and go and pick at their food throughout the day. So it's important to stick to portion control and not to just top up their food unnecessarily. So remember to follow the feeding guidelines. I recommend a combination of wet and dry food for kittens. Wet food provides extra hydration and variety in the diet. It's also highly palatable, and the aromas are great for encouraging appetite even in the fussiest cats. Cats also have a lower thirst drive than other animals, and the high moisture content in wet food can help to prevent dehydration. Dry food, on the other hand, is convenient and calorie dense, so it's typically more cost effective to feed. So for mixed feeding, a good ratio is to feed around 50-50 dry food and wet food, but this can vary based on your kitten's preferences and energy needs. So if I was going to be feeding wet and dry food to my cat, If I was going 50-50, I would look at the feeding guidelines for both the wet food and the dry food, and half that amount I need to feed daily. I also recommend creating a consistent feeding routine. This will help you to get into the habit of automatically feeding your kitten at regular intervals, and also help to get your kitten's digestive rhythm regulated. Place the food and water bowls in a quiet, low traffic area where your kitten feels safe. Always provide fresh water and keep the feeding area clean. Cats are very clean animals, and they will be put off their food if their eating area isn't clean and quiet. So make sure you keep their litter trays or toilet area well away from the food. Cats are creatures of habit, so having a consistent feeding routine is important. But as I mentioned, they're also grazers. So you may find that your kitten comes and goes from their food as they please, and that's perfectly fine. Provided they are eating the right amount and not losing any weight, then this is nothing to worry about. Kittens typically transition over to adult food at around 12 months of age. Larger breed cats like Maine Coons mature later, and they often need kitten food for up to 15 months of age. You should always transition gradually over 7 to 10 days to avoid stomach upset. Feeding your kitten the right amount at the right times ensures they grow up healthy and strong. I hope you found this video helpful, and for more information you can always check out our article online available in our vet hub at petcircle.com.au.